put together for offering our gratitude and for praying to this Guru Shishya Parampara. So the first mantra is, we always start every mantra with Om. Om is the meaning of, Om is the name given by the Shastras to the truth in totality. So when the truth we talk about with reference to us, it is known as Atma, and when the truth we talk about in totality, it is known as Brahman. So the name given to Brahman is Om in the Shastras. Just like our country flag represents our country, similarly Om represents transcendental God. So the meaning of Om is the protector. Avati Rakshati iti Om, especially the protector of the devotee. So we always start everything with Om. Om is made up of three matras: A, U and Ma. And in English we write as A, U and M. But as per the Sandhi rules of Sanskrit, A and U, they join together to form O. So the correct chanting is Om and not Aum. There are some people who chant Aum, which is wrong. And all the chanting has to be correct, only then we get punyas out of chanting itself, So this is, Om has a lot, it's in so much to know about Om, but as we study Vedanta, we will come to know more about Om. So the first shlokas are generally of 2 lines. The first shloka is, says Sada Shiva Samarambham. Arambham means started. Samarambham, well started. So this Guru Shishya Parampara, because of which today we are getting the knowledge, started with Sada Shiva. Sada Shiv is Bhagwan Shiva. One of the names of, he's the giver of this knowledge of Vedanta. So Sada Shiva Samarambham, Sada Shiva is also known as Dakshina Murti, God in the form of a teacher of Vedanta. So this parampara began with the creation and it started with Sada Shiva. Shankaracharya Madhyamam. In between this parampara is Adi Shankaracharya. Because of him only today we are sitting here and studying, otherwise long time back this knowledge would have vanished from India, Asmadacharya Paryantam. Paryantam is till, and Asmada Acharya, my teacher, Asmada, my teacher, Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. My namaha to this parampara of Guru and Shishya, because of which today I am being benefited by this knowledge. It started at the time of creation. Shruti Smriti Purana Nam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lok Shankaram. This second shloka is addressed to Adi Shankaracharya. We say that Namami Bhagavat Padam. Shankaracharya ji was Bhagwan himself. So Namami, my namaha to the feet of Shankaracharya. Lok Shankaram, who makes this world Shankaram. Shankaram means auspicious. Just by giving this knowledge, he made this world so auspicious. He is Karunalayam. He is the Alayam, the abode of Karuna, of compassion. Because, you see, if he didn't have compassion, he wouldn't have walked this country so many times, to establish the Peethams, to give knowledge to everybody. So he is the Alayam of Karuna, and Alayam of knowledge, the abode of knowledge, because of whom today we get the knowledge of Shruti, Smriti, Puranas. So my namaha at the feet of Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaram Shankaracharyam. Shankaracharya ji is Bhagwan Shankar himself. Badarayanam Keshavam. Badarayan is Vedvyasa ji. He is Lord Vishnu himself. Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande. My vandanas, my namaskaras to the Kritav, means the writers, the authors of Sutra and Bhashya. Sutra are the Brahma Sutras, and Bhashya means commentaries. Commentaries which Adi Shankaracharya ji wrote on Prasthantrayam. Prasthantrayam are the three pillars of knowledge by which Vedanta is understood. The three pillars are Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, and Nyaya Prasthana. Shruti Prasthana are the Upanishads, Smriti Prasthana is Bhagavad Gita, and Nyaya is logic. So Nyaya Prasthana is Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra, which Ved Vyasa ji wrote, it deals with the statements of Vedas in a very logical way. That is why Vedanta is not just some preaching, it is teaching. It has to be, and logic is used here. So, Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Tau is always used when two people are being addressed. In Sanskrit, we don't just have singular and plural, we have singular, dual, and plural. We talk about one, we talk about two, and then plurality, many. So here Tau means these two, Shankaracharya ji and Badarayana ji, that is Ved Vyasa ji, who have written the sutras. Ved Vyasa ji wrote Brahma Sutras, and Shankaracharya ji wrote Bhashyas, commentaries on Prasthantrayam. His commentary is taken as the last word in understanding Vedanta, otherwise there are a lot of misinterpretations of Vedanta. So Punah Punah, again and again, my vandanas, my namaskaras at the feet of these two Bhagwans, Shankaracharya ji and Ved Vyasa ji. Ishvaro Gururat Meti. Ishvaraha Guru Atma iti. Ishvara and Guru are only Atma actually, and so am I. So Murti Bheda Vibhagane. Murti is the form of everyone. Bheda is the difference between any two people sitting here. The difference is Vibhagane, is divide, the division which is created between the people is because of the difference of the forms of everyone. So Ishvara and Guru are Atma itself, and the difference is created by the division created by this different forms. Vyom Vad Vyapta Dehaya. Vyom means space. Vad means like space. So Vyom Vad, Vyapta, it's all pervading. Dehaya, this body. So Atma is all pervading like Vyom Vad, like Akash. In the scriptures, the closest example to Atma is Akash, Akashvad, and the second is Prakash, Prakashvad. So in this room, we have Prakash, not the source of light, but the light itself. It is all pervading, and the space is all pervading. So similarly, Atma pervades our body. Akash is the subtlest out of all the five elements we have. The five elements are Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, and Prithvi. These are the five elements with which this whole world is created, and Prithvi is the grossest and Akash is the subtlest. So Atma is being compared to Akash here. Vyom Vad Vyapta Dehaya. Atma pervades my body just like Akash. Now we have Akash outside, we have Akash inside our bodies. But in our stomach we have space. In between our organs we have space. So there's space inside us, there's space outside us. When we are walking from one point to the other, is that space inside me walking with me, or am I walking in space? We are walking in space. The space is not walking with us. Because the space is so subtle, it can pervade us through and through, you know. So we are walking in space. Similarly, Atma is all pervading, just like Vyom Vad Vyapta Dehaya. Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. My Namaha to Dakshina Murti, Sadashiva Bhagwan. The word Dakshina Murti literally means God sitting in the north facing the students in the south. Dakshina Murti. You know, in the Puranas, when people didn't understand Vedanta, Ved Vyasa ji wrote Puranas, you know, in story form he told things, so lots of people understood, you know. So the literal meanings are always the Puranic meanings, and the implied meaning is the Vedanta meaning. So Dakshina Murti literally means Dakshina is the giver of knowledge of Vedanta, who is a Murti, who is formless. The actual God is formless. Any God which has a form becomes limited by that form. So the true God is the formless Atma. So Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Then we'll just go through all the mantras. Om Sahana Bhavatu. We always start every mantra with chanting Om, and Sahana Bhavatu is broken down into Saha Nan Avatu. Saha means together. Nan means Guru Shishya together. Avatu. May God protect both the Guru and Shishya so that this knowledge can transpire. May there be no obstacle in this transpiration of the knowledge. May the Guru be able to give the knowledge and the Shishya be able to receive the knowledge. So by this knowledge, Maya, the Shakti of Brahman, because of which Brahman appears as this universe, is falsified as Mithya. Everything becomes unreal once you get this knowledge. So Maya won't let you get this knowledge easily. It's going to put so many obstacles in your path. Every class you will find there is an obstacle cropping up. Maya is not letting you just go and get this knowledge and falsify Maya. So only people, when they have a single pointed goal that I want to get this knowledge, they will put those issues behind and they will come for the class. But if the worldly things are still very important for the person, then they attend to that and they drop the class. So we pray that may this knowledge be able to be received by the Shishya, and may the Guru be able to give it also. So Sahanau Bhunaktu. Saha again together, now both Guru and Shishya. Bhunaktu. Bhunaktu is nourish. May God nourish both Guru and Shishya, because only assimilated knowledge can actually transform my life. Just intellectual knowledge, this knowledge is not going to help if we just have intellectual knowledge. Just like when we eat food, eaten food is not going to nourish my body. Only the digested and assimilated food is going to nourish this body. Similarly, this knowledge has to get assimilated in every cell of my body, and it should transform my perception, and so it should transform my life. So we pray to God that Sahanau Bhunaktu, may this knowledge nourish me. Saha Viryam Karvavahi. Saha together, Viryam Karvavahi. May both Guru and Shishya put in their best effort. So may the Guru put their best effort to give the knowledge, and may the Shishya put in the best effort to receive and retain this knowledge. The knowledge is not going to come very easily, be very short. Not this knowledge. This knowledge God has insulated. People sit for janmas and they don't get this knowledge. So two things are required. Just like a bird flies with two wings. Similarly, success in life depends upon two things. One is prayatna, my best effort. Yatna is effort, and pra is in the right direction. So prayatna, and the second is Ishwar Anugraha. Lord's grace is required. And be very sure, no matter how much effort we put, no human can figure out this knowledge. Oh, I figured this whole thing out. No, God has to reveal Himself. This knowledge is only we can just keep putting our effort, but in the end God has to reveal. For self-realization, God will have to reveal Himself, and then He is going to decide which student I am going to reveal it to. He is going to see the effort of the student, pure intention, whether it's there or not there. That's why we pray, darshan do ghanshyam. You have to give your darshan. Darshan literally doesn't mean some darshan in front, because people think that. But darshan means realization. When we have this realization who we are, it is Bhagwan has given His darshan, So Sah Viryam Karvavahi Tejasvi Na Vadhi Tamastu. Astu means may it be. Dhi my intellect, dhi is intellect. Tejasvinam vadhi tamastu. May my intellect become brilliant. And intellect is only brilliant when there is clarity of thinking. We call a person brilliant when he has this clarity of thinking, you know. So actually in life, the whole problem is this non-clarity of thinking, you know. The stuff which should have the highest priority is down there, and the one which should have no priority is top one. People are chasing it. So Tejasvinamati, may this knowledge be so brilliant in my mind that it changes my clarity of thinking. Ma vidvisha vahi. Ma means may not be. Vidvisha is vidvesha. Is misunderstanding between the Guru and Shishya. May there be no misunderstanding between Guru and Shishya. This is said here because, you know, in Vedic times, the students went to live in the Gurukula. And be it the son of a king or be it the son of some pauper, they all lived in the same way. It was a beautiful setup, you know. And they were given different duties to take care of the Gurukula. So it was possible that some children would have thought that Guruji is being, you know, very favorable to that kid and not to me, and he's given me this. So for that reason, most probably this is addressed here, Ma Vidvishai. May there be no misunderstanding, because this relationship, you know, the Guru-Shishya relationship, every human being is not blessed with. We may have all sorts of relationships, mother, father, husband, wife, children. Those relationships everybody will get. But a Guru-Shishya true relationship, very few people are blessed with, you know. So may God create no misunderstandings between the Guru and Shishya. Om Shanti Shanti. We will see Shanti later. Om Purnamadaha. Purnamada means Adaha. This Atma is Purna. It is infinite. It is complete. It is not incomplete. It is complete. It's infinite. It's limitless. So my true nature is Purnam. Purnamadaha. Purnamidam. Idam. Idam is what is in front of me. Idam. So that is Purna. This whole world is Idam. Actually, in the world, my body, mind, sense complex comes, you know. And in the Shastras, Aham and Idam means the whole world. Aham, the Atma, and Idam, the whole world. That's Purna. So that's complete. This world which I'm encountering is complete. We don't know that. We take ourselves to be somebody else and we think this world is independent, but actually this is a manifestation of God. This world is called Ashtamurti Ishwaraha. Ashtamurti, made up of 8 murtis. What are they? 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth. The 5 elements, 5. The sun, which represents all the luminaries of the universe. The moon, which represents all the planets and satellites. And the Jiva, the living being. This makes up the entire world. Ashtamurti Ishwara. So Ramana Maharshi says in his Updeshtaram, Jagad Ishadi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Bhrat Deva Pujanam. So this Ashtamurti Jagat is Ishwaraha. And when you do seva of this Jagat, you are doing Deva Pujanam. So that is why we say Manav Puja is Madhav Puja. You know? So we are supposed to, this is the actual puja, not just puja in the temple. That's all symbolic. You'll understand as you understand Vedanta, you know. So Purnat Purna Mudachite. Purnat, from this Atma, Purna Mudachite, this whole world has come to be. Udachite, it has got manifested from this Atma. The source, the cause is the Atma and the effect is this world. You know? So in Taittiriya Upanishad is said that Tasmatva etasmat atmanaha akasha sambhutaha akashad vayu vayur agnihi agnir apaha adyaha prithvihi prithivyam oshadayaha oshadabhyo annam annat purushaha. This is the sequence of the manifestation of the entire world. Tasmatva etasmat atmanah. From we must understand now that whenever we refer to Atma, that is with reference to self, and when it's the totality, it is called Brahman. So from Atma, Akasha Sambhutah. Akasha was manifested. That is closest to Atma. Akashad Vayuhu. Vayu came from Akasha. Vayur Agnihi. Agni Tattva came from Vayuhu. Agnir Apaha. Apa came from Agni. And Adya Prithvi. Prithvi came from this thing, water. Then from Prithvi came Oshadayaha. The vegetation came from Prithvi. Oshadabhyam Annam. Food came from the vegetation. And Annat Purushaha, all the living beings are surviving only because of food. So this is the sequence of the manifestation of this Jagat, and this Jagat is Purnaha. From Purnaha Udachite has come forth. Purnasya Purnamadaya. In Purna Jagat, if you recognize the Purna Atma, in this infinite Jagat, if you can recognize the infinite Atma, Purna Eva Avishishyate, then all that is left is Purnam, that is the Atma. Avishishyate remains. In my understanding, everything which I see is Bhagwan himself, it is Atma. So this, if you understand, is the understanding of Vedanta, and this is called Advait Siddhi. You have accomplished Advaita. Advaita is, Dvaita is two. I am separate, God is separate. So, and Advaita, there is no difference in reality between me and God. So this is called Advait Siddhi, and this is what we are aiming at. So this is reaching the pinnacle, understanding Vedanta. So the whole thing is going to be taught, and slowly as every class you're going to understand a little more. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. We always pray for Shanti, and Shanti is this peace and tranquility. And Shanti we're saying 3 times, not because there are 3 types of Shantis. Shanti, of course, is the peace within, peace that we have peace in the class, so that we can have a class only if there's Shanti, so we can have a class. But the source of obstruction of the Shanti is from 3 sources. So they are called Adhyatmika, Adhibhutaha, Adhidaivaka. There are 3 sources from which the Shanti can get obstructed. Also, these are the 3 sources for all dukkha. All the sorrow comes from these 3 sources. So the first Shanti is we pray to God. This is Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika is coming from my own self. Whenever we refer to Atma, it means my own self. So we pray to God so that there will be no obstruction for my studies. We are talking about the studies here. Obstructions to the study from my own body, mind, sense complex, So if I have to sit here, then I have to be free from knee pain and back pain and stomach pain and all that. Otherwise, I can't sit here, So, and more importantly, the mind. If I can sit, but if my mind is wandering all over, then I will be here, but I will not hear, because the mind is not there. Mind is somewhere else, So I have to pray to God so that from this body-mind complex, there is no obstruction for my studies. The second Shanti we pray for is obstruction coming from this world. It's called Adi Bhautika, Bhauta means the Bhutas, the living beings, around. So the Adi Bhautika source should not send me some obstructions, My neighbors could be creating some trouble. There could be a dog barking in my neighborhood, some sound blaring somewhere, or even mosquitoes biting me, Any problem, this attention will go. This is the reason why Vedanta needs 100%, concentration here. So we pray that may God, there will be Shanti from this source. Then the final Shanti is Adhidaivika Shanti. So Daivas means the natural forces, and nature, it can create trouble any moment. We hear of all tsunamis and cyclones happening from everywhere. These natural forces are both unpredictable and uncontrollable, Today, because of scientific evolution and advancements, certain things have become predictable. We may be able to predict a cyclone or a typhoon or something, but we can't control it. The only thing we can do is evacuate from there, So we have to, an earthquake till date is both unpredictable and uncontrollable. You can't predict, you can't control. Run, that's the only thing we can do, save yourself and run from there. So we pray that may Bhagwan not give us such an obstruction, especially when we are studying. So these are the 3 Shantis, and also in life, may there be Shanti from these 3 sources. So these are the shlokas. Now you can chant them more meaningfully when you chant. We will start with our Tattva Bodha. The first shloka of Tattva Bodha I will chant, and you please repeat after me. Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattva Bodho Bhidiyate. So Tattva Bodha. Tattva means the reality, the truth of anything. And here we are talking about the reality of the universe. Bodha means knowledge. So the Bodha of the Tattva, which is the universe, the knowledge of this universe is what Tattva Bodha is going to teach us, As per the scriptures, this entire universe is divided into 3 components: Jeev, Jagat, Ishvara. So Tattva Bodha is going to teach me the Tattva, the Bodha of the Tattva of the Jiva. Who am I actually in reality? The Bodha of the Tattva of this Jagat. What is this Jagat? And the Bodha on the Tattva of Ishvara. So these 3 factors Tattva Bodha is going to teach us, Tattva Bodha is, the whole book is written in prose form. It is generally our scriptures are, all the scriptures are in shlokas, mantras, sutra forms, which can be chanted as a verse, And most of the books are a dialogue between the Guru and Shishya, just like in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan, Krishna and Arjuna, they are having a dialogue. So this is the way knowledge actually transpires, When I have a doubt, I ask, it is answered. So in our religion, it is not, don't ask questions. Religion is telling you this, better follow. It's not like that, It is open, understand, please understand what the scriptures are saying. You can ask any amount of questions and remove all your doubts. So here in Tattva Bodha, the dialogue, they don't mention the teacher and the guru and the shishya by name, but it's understood. Whenever the question comes, it's understood it's from the shishya, and whenever the answer is coming, it's understood it's by the guru. So Tattva Bodha is a Prakaran Grantha. Prakaran means a treatise. Our Vedas are voluminous. We don't have one scriptural literature, one book in our religion, We have so much that nobody can even claim, not even a library. They can claim that we've collected everything, leave alone studying, So because we are so voluminous, then our great masters, of Vedanta, the Acharyas, they wrote these smaller texts. So that every person can, in a very concise form, they give the entire knowledge, so that everybody can read this and understand what the Vedas are saying. Also, Tattva Bodha talks about a lot of definitions, so it becomes very easy to enter the other text then. If you want to study Prasthantrayam, that is Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, when you want to study, then this basic knowledge must be there, because they are going to explain all this. Like last class we studied Purusha, Chaturvida, Purushartha and Anubandha Chatushtaya. Now, if it's mentioned, you all know now, what it means. But the deeper text won't talk in length, so Tattva Bodha is going to talk about a lot of all this and it will give a lot of definitions, So our scriptural literature basically talks about 6 topics in totality, Jeev, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandha, bondage, there is a sense of bondage, Mukti, Moksha, liberation from all this, and the sadhana for moksha, how we are going to achieve this. This is the whole scriptural literature talks about these 6 basic topics, In some books, something is more prominent, in something is more prominent. So this Prakaran Grantha is going to tell us about this. So Jiva, of course, I need to know who I am, otherwise my life is in a mess. As a small individual, we can never ever be free from all our problems. What is this Jagat which I am facing? I must know the reality of this Jagat. I am encountering it all the time. All the trouble is coming from this Jagat, so I have to know the reality. And who is Ishvara? And where is this Ishvara which I am praying to? Who has the answers to this, None of us have answers to this. Even parents don't give this correct answer to the children, because children ask a lot of such questions. Who's God? Where is this God? Because you tell them to pray, why should I pray? They come up with a lot of questions. But because parents don't have an answer, so all these questions are evaded, Or maximum they'll say God is in heaven. Where is this heaven? There, up there. So then why haven't the astronaut met God up till now? Because they go right up there. You don't ask too many questions, Go do your homework. So these questions are all unanswered because the parents themselves don't know this. And most of the parents have all those kind of beliefs which have been passed on from one generation to the other, and that is what they are giving to their children. And these are very strong conditionings. They have solid roots, So be careful on what you tell your children, because it's their life. It's going to be rooted in these beliefs, So our scriptures talk about who is God and where is God. Then the 4th topic is bandha, this bondage. So the scriptures say that universally all human beings, they have this sense of bondage which is created because of fear and insecurity caused by this constantly changing world a human encounters. We all have our individual problems, at our individual levels. But universally, be it a person, a tribal in Australia, or living in Africa, or be it a person living in North Pole, a human being has certain fundamental problems because human being has a very evolved mind. This mind constantly thinks of the future and the past. It's thinking. Animals are not worrying about the future and have regrets about the past. They are living in the moment. There's such a blessing for the animals actually, that they're just there, they're just conscious, they're just present here, living in the moment. But a human being is always worried about what's going to happen. The uncertainty and the unpredictability of the future is the biggest problem here. So because of this problem, the human being is dependent on few things here in this world. But then this object of dependence either changes or it goes away in matter of time. Even the thought of the change of this object of dependence brings fear in a human being. It's called bhayam in the Shastras, And when the object of dependence actually goes away, there's grief inside, there's a lot of shoka inside. So this bhayam and shoka, which are created because of this world which is never steady, everything's changing here, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow to me. So this is the cause of the problems. And the scriptures call this problem and the way we respond to it as samsara. Also called bhavaroga in the Shastras, Samsara literally means constant change. Samsarati iti samsara. It's all, everything's changing. It's slipping out of my hands. Whatever I hold on to gives way. It's like some cardboard chair, you rely upon somebody, after some time gone. The person only may have gone or the person can change, So this problem we don't know how to address, and the scriptures first tell us, this is the problem, and they will also give us the solution for it. The fifth topic which the scriptures deal with is moksha, mukti, liberation from all these fears. And is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Only this is the solution. The self-knowledge is the solution. And the sixth topic is the sadhana, or the method of achieving this moksha. So the scriptures give us the full blueprint, the method, the path, the spiritual treatment of getting moksha. You can live here, right here, as a jivan mukta. You can be free from all these problems. We don't know that everybody, and generally we go and we meet up people because they also as miserable as I am. They also have the same problems. So when I share my problems, I feel very comfortable. I feel nice. So we go and meet people. So that is not the solutions. The scriptures first diagnose the fundamental problem. They bring our attention to this problem. And then they give a treatment for it, a cure for it, just like a doctor. Doctor will first diagnose the disease and then give the treatment. If the doctor's diagnosis is not correct and he's just giving symptomatic treatment, that's not going to solve the problem. Any doctor where there is a huge queue, oh my God, his diagnosis is there, bang, on the spot, Well, he is able to diagnose the problem and then he's able to treat it properly. That's the doctor who's got the highest, biggest queue in front of his office. So scriptures are saying that this is the problem, samsara is the problem, and they're going to give us the treatment, And since we don't know all this, how are we tackling this problem? We are busy adjusting our external worlds, We're trying to make our world very favorable, so that this inner problem of this fear and insecurity all the time is cropping up. That is not there when we adjust our world. We add few favorable things in our life and we get rid of unfavorable things in our life. If my world is comfortable, then I'm comfortable. That's giving symptomatic treatment, We are looking for a solution. This internal problem is the problem, and the solution we are looking out in this world. So that is a wrong place. We are looking for a solution. Just like there was this old lady. She was a poor lady, and she had lost her only ring she had, and she was looking under the lamppost, in the street, and looking desperately. So a passerby stopped by and said that what happened. So she says, with tears in her eyes, that my ring is lost. So he also started helping her. He started looking out for that ring. After some time, he said, where exactly did you drop it? So she says, in my hut. She says, why are you looking out over here? So she says, because it's dark inside and here there is light, So it may sound so stupid as to what is she doing, but that is exactly what we are doing. Because of this darkness of ignorance, we are looking out here in this lit up world. As they say, that all negatives are developed in a dark room. So all the negativities which are cropping up in me is because of the darkness of ignorance we have. So we, we don't know what the mind is, what the problems are happening. Our mind is not the brain. Mind is a flow of thoughts. Brain is the hardware, and the software is these thoughts which are cropping up, And our mind has three levels. It is the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the unconscious minds. And the equipment, this antahkaran, this mind, its properties is only to produce, its function is only to produce thoughts. So we can't just become thoughtless, trying to do this in meditation, we just sit down and become thoughtless for some time. That is not going to solve the problem. Yes, momentarily you will be relieved from all sorts of troublesome thoughts, but that is the nature of the equipment. The moment you get up, the thought production has already started. Actually, at the unconscious level, the thoughts, they're called vrittis in Sanskrit, are ati sukshma vrittis are happening all the time. Just like in the ocean, there are waves happening, So at the unconscious level, ati sukshma vrittis are happening. And ati sukshma vritti presently is caused because of the self-ignorance. Then at the subconscious level, because of this ignorance, there are sukshma vrittis, subtle thoughts which are happening. So these thoughts of this fear and insecurity, these are the thoughts in my subconscious mind. And because of that, the conscious mind is disturbed, agitated and disturbed, because the moment I think about the unpredictability and uncertainty of my life itself, I'm uncomfortable. That's why the bhava roga, roga means disease, When disease means I'm not at ease with myself, I'm not comfortable with myself, I need this world to hold on to be myself, to be comfortable with myself. So these thoughts are being produced all the time, and we are tackling it by, you keep the conscious mind engaged in something. Because the conscious mind, is the subtle thoughts, the gross thoughts are coming only in the conscious mind. So if we keep it engaged, because any activity needs the mind, and if the mind is engaged in some activity, then we are not bothered about it. Then all this gets pushed down in the subconscious and unconscious, So our solution is keep the mind, keep doing some activity here, go meet friends, go watch TV, listen to music, go for a holiday, So we are trying to engage the conscious mind so that the mind doesn't bother me. This is the reason why people are workaholics, shopaholics, alcoholics. They are keeping their minds engaged by working, doing it, overworking there, And some people are shopping all the time. The moment they feel unfit, they're shopping, And they're alcoholics because they want to get rid of all this problem of the mind. Some people stone their mind with drugs because this mind is troublesome, Wherever you go, this mind comes along. Everybody actually is only running away from their own minds. Where can you go? Wherever you go, the mind's tagging with you. Ashantasya mano bharaha. A shant mind is a bharaha. It is a burden for every human being, Only a shant mind can only come because of enlightenment. And a shant mind is a light mind, It's a friendly mind. Otherwise, the mind itself is our enemy. At a relative level, dharma gives shanti, When you pursue dharma, it gives shanti. And at the absolute level, self-knowledge gives, like total problem solved. So these are the 6 topics that all our scriptures deal with. Tattva Bodha has been supposed to be written by Adi Shankaracharya. I'm saying supposed to because our great masters, when they wrote these profound knowledge and they wrote these texts, they didn't write their name underneath. Most of the books it's figured out that this is the Shaili of so and so. This is the Shaili. Shaili is the method of writing, And Shankaracharyaji's writing Shaili was Prasanna Gambhir. It was very Gambhir, there was a profound knowledge he's giving. And Prasanna, is such a pleasure, so easily understood, So it's supposed to be written by Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya ji, we all in our scriptures, whether it is any worldly activity or religious activity or spiritual activity, as per our culture, we always start with a prayer. So the first mantra of any scriptural text is always a prayer. It is called Mangala Charan, or also called Shanti Mantra. So Shankaracharya ji starts with the Shanti Mantra by praying to his Guru, because in our culture we do not see a difference between Bhagwan and Guru. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabar Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. That's the respect we give to our Guru, because this is a life transforming knowledge, and he starts with prayer to Guru because he does not see any difference between Guru and Ishvara, The word Guru is made up of 2 syllables, Gu and Ru. Gu means darkness and Ru is the remover of darkness. So there is a shloka which says, Gukarascha andhakaro vai, rukarashtan nivartikaha, andhakaro nirodhitvat, guru ritya abhidhiyate. Gukarasya andhakaro vai. Gu means andhakar in life, if there is. So in a room when there is darkness, we switch on the light and the darkness is gone. But the internal darkness, this of self-ignorance, is only removed by light. That's why we always say, very enlightening. It enlightens, it removes certain darkness from the mind. You know? So, rukaras tan nivartikaha, that darkness is the remover of this darkness. You know, who's that? Andhakaro nirodhatvat, removing this internal darkness. Guru ritya vidiyate, that he is known as Guru. You know. So in our culture, this is not one-to-one like the West, it seems, you know, there it's one, hi, hello, there, one-to-one, hisab kitab, you know, not here. This is our culture. We start the day by lighting a lamp most of the people don't know the significance of that. That's a belief, a tradition, they're just doing it like that. But our entire life was structured at the Vedic times, you know, so that each and every person got this knowledge. Nobody should come as a human being and leave without getting this knowledge. So it's, you know, light a lamp, not blow it out, put a candle on the birthday cake and blow it out, you know. Why? Because we are very modern, you know. We love the foreigners and we follow them. They do anything, we follow, you know. So there was this patient who goes to an eye specialist and he had some trouble in his eyes. So our doctor looked in and he said, you know, there is a foreign particle in your eyes. Do you want me to remove it? Since it's foreign, you know, and foreign means we start ruling over foreign. So we have to be very careful. Our culture, there is no such culture anywhere in this world, you know. When we don't have respect for our own culture. And there are all these ashrams are filled with foreigners because they are done with that materialism. It doesn't give anything. This is the culture, and we have to, you know, respect our culture and follow this culture. It's such a beautiful culture. So he says, Natva Jnana Pradam Guru. Natva, I bow my head down to my Guru, who Jnana Pradam, who gave me this knowledge. Who is my Guru? Vasudevendra Yogindram. You know, Shankaracharyaji's Guru was Govind Bhagavad Pad. And Govinda is also name of Lord Krishna. So is Vasudeva. So Vasudeva, literally again there are two meanings to it. Vasudeva is supposed to be son of Vasudeva. His father's name, son of Vasudeva. But the actual meaning is not that, because as I said, you know, these two meanings are meant for two different type of intellects. One who will actually understand the implied meaning. The implied meaning is Vasudeva, it means the self-effulgent Atma. And Vasu, which resides in all the beings. Vasudeva, that's God, Atma. Aham Atma Guna Kesha, Bhagavan saying in Bhagavad Gita. But this is not known. So Shankaracharya ji says, Natva Jnana Pradam Guru. Who's the Guru? Vasudevendra. Who's Yogendra? Indra is the king of heaven. But whenever Indra is used as a suffix behind a word, it means the greatest. So he's Yogendra. He's the highest yogi. Yogi is a jnani, one who has, who's self-realized, you know. The yoga word has got 3-4 roots. Roots in Sanskrit, each word is made out of certain roots, you know. So one of the roots is yuj. Yuj means to join. It brings about a union. And it's not a physical union, but it's the understanding that Jivatma, Paramatma is one. So that's the union. So a jnani knows this fact. So his guru is Vasudevendra Yogendra, Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum, Mumukshu Nam Hitarthaya, for the hita, for the benefit of a mumukshu, the desirer of moksha, Tattva Bodho Abhidiyate. I'm writing, I'm going to teach Tattva Bodha, the Bodha of this Tattva of this universe. So he starts like that, and this Bodha of the Tattva is so important for us to know, because my happiness depends upon the perception of this universe and of myself. Whenever we say universe, it includes my body, mind, sense complex, because I'm not the body, mind, sense complex is the teaching. I'm the Atma. So my happiness is dependent on my perception of this world and myself, and my perception depends upon my knowledge. So the knowledge is always in the intellect, but as per the knowledge in my intellect, I have emotions in my mind all the time. So when the emotions, and we are living our lives at the emotional level only, day to day, moment to moment, it's the emotional life which we are living here. So if there is an intense emotion, these emotions, they trickle down to my physical and verbal level. When there is an intense emotion, there are tears in the eyes, there's butterfly in the stomach, goosebumps all over, like my hair stands and my limbs start giving way. Some people even faint, if it's a shocking news. And it comes down to the verbal level, the tongue becomes speechless, or they can start blabbering too much, Some people, if you see every person they meet, they start telling their problems, because the mind is full of so much of problems that when they share it with others, it feels a little lighter relatively, So these emotions are coming because of the knowledge which I have in the intellect. And the mind can only be rid of these emotions when I have self-knowledge. It cannot be, everything is otherwise temporary. We are just managing here, giving symptomatic treatment here, If I have correct knowledge, only then I can be emotionally strong. Otherwise, I'll be an emotionally weak person. You see these 6-footers with solid physique and all that. One little it happen. One little problem in life, and there they are flapping. I've even seen this in my clinic, this huge 6-footers, they sit in the chair. One, you pick up the dental drill and they are, he's such a hefty guy and all that. No, dentistry is very scary, So, that emotionally that person is weak, physically strong. All of them are busy in the gyms, making this body so strong. But what about the mind? The mind can only become strong if we have self-knowledge. Even if the intellect is high, you have a very high IQ, you've gone and done a PhD in some worldly matters, but that doesn't guarantee emotional strength. Emotional strength, EQ, that's why I said emotional quotient is more important than IQ. Intelligent quotient is okay, we need both. So we said the other day, Dve Vidye Veditavye, both the Vidyas are so important to live a balanced life. Otherwise, it's a lopsided, effect of this life. It's only concentrating on the world and getting this worldly knowledge, and we have no knowledge about ourselves. If I take myself to be this person, this little tiny individual, petty, small person facing this huge world here, I'm going to be scared. And so I'm dependent. I need so many things here for me to be comfortable. You see this for the old people, how scared they are. Because all that strength has come down, the strength which we could live with earlier, it's come down, they are old. They're so scared, moment to moment you see, the fear is there. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? So if I take myself to be this individual, the problems are immense and I'm going to be dependent on this world, And if I'm dependent, the moment anybody comes to know that emotionally and not physically we need help, a little bit here and there, but emotional, the whole scripture is talking about the emotional strength, So emotionally, if a person comes to know that this person can't do without me, there are going to be sanctions. There will be emotional blackmailing. The person is going to put up his price, So why would you want to be emotionally dependent on anyone when there is a method given by the scriptures? You don't have to depend on this world later. Jesus said, I have overcome this world. I don't need, and people don't understand what that meaning is, overcome this world. What does it mean? It means I have become, so emotionally strong because of this knowledge which I have. So dependence, attachment, expectations, the scriptures are declaring is the root cause of trouble in life, That doesn't mean that you don't have relationships, You don't have to be free from relationships, but there should be freedom in relationships, There has to be, and that comes with understanding. If your attachment is because of, you want something from that person. You want that person's presence for your well-being. Love is freedom. You take care, love the people, not for the sake of taking care of those people. Most of the people are sitting on the jugular of each other, I mean, because of this care, they're so scared within, they're dependent. My well-being is dependent on the person, so they want to control that person, they're attached to that person. They make that person's life hell and they make their own life hell, just because we don't know how to live here. And if we study this, we'll come to know, but nobody wants to study Vedanta, who wants to study all this headache? So presently, because of my perception, I'm emotionally bankrupt, and we go with a begging bowl to everybody. Do you love me? Do you love me? So because my well-being is dependent on that. If the person says, love you, my God, see how the people are flying up in the sky, And one harsh word from that person, finished, everything is gone. Because the key of my happiness is in that person's pocket, Just a little change there, even a frown coming from that person, the internal environment over here changes. And if that person changes or if that person goes, there's fear, there's sorrow. So these are the only ways we can give a permanent treatment, It is said, Sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham. Paravasham is dependence. It will always bring sarvam dukkham, it's always going to bring dukkha. Atmavasham is independence. Independence, will always bring sukha. So in our lives, we are always trying to be self-sufficient here, We want to earn our own money so that I'm not dependent on anyone. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to have a vehicle and know how to drive it because I don't want to depend on anyone. I want to be self-sufficient. We want to buy our own house because we want to be self-sufficient. Even Modi ji is trying to make the country self-sufficient, Atmanirbhar Bharat. We don't want to depend on all these countries. We want to be self-sufficient. But when it comes to happiness, peace and security, we are dependent here, because of our perception. And this knowledge is the only knowledge which will make us independent for peace and happiness, It will give you Jivan Mukti so that you can get rid of that begging bowl, and if people are there, very good. If they're not there, it's good also, it's fine. It doesn't have to be there, This is the way life is lived, mindlessly, blindly, we are living some kind of a life. This is not what it is. So Tattva Bodha, when we study in detail, it's going to talk all about this, and we will continue in the next class. So we do Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari